Hey there, this is Wake Angel 2001, and this is the new Sonic Boom vlog for today's episode of, yesterday's episode. If you build it, they will race. Okay, so, at first, I thought there was a bit of a continuity gap, but it was fixed within the episode, so I let it pass. This is really just like, when I was, well, let's face it, I was probably like close to 12 at the time. They had this thing called Wacky Racers. I think they were made in like the 70s, but they aired them in reruns on Cartoon Network in the 90s. Basically, Hanna-Barbera got a whole bunch of their characters together to have car races. You'd have like Captain Caveman, Penelope Pitstop, Yogi Bear, all those characters. They'd all get into cars and they'd all have a race, and they made a series about that. And, well, everybody just loves to homage that thing. I mean, like, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transform is basically Sega's version of Wacky Races. They did a South Park episode about Wacky Races when they were talking about alternative cab companies. And, well, it's just, Wacky Races. Just get a bunch of franchises to cross over in kart racing events, and it's instant entertainment because everybody recognizes it. So yeah, this is your Wacky Racers. It basically starts out with a 3D printer. Tails is doing some repairs to his plane so that they can go skydiving over a volcano, which Knuckles says he has to get done really quick because they might realize that skydiving over a volcano is a bad idea, but the bolt that he's tightening, it doesn't fit right and it snaps. So he uses his maker machine to make a new bolt. At first, Styx thinks it's some kind of trans-dimensional device that's kidnapping Bolt people from another dimension, but it's basically just a 3D printer, or a replicator from Star Trek. But yeah, I think they're really trying to go with the 3D printer thing because that's actual tech that really exists. It's amazing how we've managed to supplant Star Trek yet again. The flip phone, the Bluetooth, the tablet device, computer, now the replicator. I mean, all we really need now is like a hypo spray to replace injectors and for a medical tricorder to scan people for disease. That's basically, well, that and interstellar travel. That's basically all that Star Trek still has. So Knuckles is like, why don't you like fun? They say that instead of just making little bolts to repair the plane, he can make anything. So Tails makes a giant bolt! It's like the giant nut that they give as a prize on BattleBots. Ha! So Knuckles is like, why do you hate fun? You can make a pizza oven, or car, or giant nut! And, Tails says that the maker machine is too small to make big stuff like that. So Sonic says, Sonic stumbles across his words in a hilarious way, but the basic gist of it is, you can just use your maker machine to make a bigger MakerBot, a bigger maker machine. See, it's kind of complicated. So Tails makes a bigger maker machine, and they start to design cars for it, and they all want to do all kinds of stuff. Like Amy wants it to be flashy, Styx wants it to be camouflage, Sonic wants it to be fast, Knuckles wants it to be powerful and have a pizza oven, and Tails wants it to have to be versatile and practical and all that stuff. So what ends up on the screen is some kind of hideous monstrosity of parts, which they said, you know what, maybe we should just make our individual cars. So Sonic basically makes an Indy 500 racer modified to his specifications. Amy makes a really cute sporty speedster with a hammer in the front. Knuckles makes a big monster truck with wheels on the roof. Styx makes a big camouflage thing, and Knuckles has like a military jeep. Tails has a military jeep. Knuckles, yeah. I'm kind of hungry. I think I might stumble over my words. And this is where I thought they were going to have a continuity gap, because we've seen Knuckles' big monster truck car in several episodes already. So, like, wait, they're just making it now? But we've already seen it. So the episode continues, and it shuts me up. Sonic says that to decide whose car is going to be best, they're going to have a race. So So they all get their cars ready and they're gonna race. When the mayor pops in and says that the world doesn't belong to the 5 of them. Really? I kind of figured that it did. So he says that in order for them to have a race on the public roads, they need to pay fees, get permits. It has to be a public event open to anyone who wants to participate. You know, basically legal stuff. And yes, this is actual legal precedent that people that want to do street races have to do. So, yeah, I mean, it may kill the fun, but it serves the dual purpose of telling kids that, yeah, there's kinds of real logistical crap you have to do in order to have events like this, and it opens the event to characters that aren't just Sonic and his friends. So that's when Storm the Eagle pops in and says that after 8 months of filing paperwork, they're finally ready to get the race going. And boom, that is where the continuity is fixed. Because from when they build it to when this race happens is 8 months. So several episodes that happened previously could actually have happened before this episode's beginning. Like Knuckles having his car with the pizza oven. It all happened in the interim 8 months while we're doing this. So this is an episode that begins before the season starts and then catches up now. Alright, en medias res. That technically means that this entire series up to this point has been en medias res because the events of this episode are really what happened first chronologically. But we're back to the present day, 8 months later. And so the Wacky Races is all set up. They have the Tortoise Mailman, Dave the Intern in the Mad Burger Mobile, and Eggman wants to participate. Yeah. So he comes in with his Eggmobile, his egg, and Amy says that it's a car race. You need wheels to participate because having a flying vehicle in a car race would be cheating. So that's when he has Cubot and Orbot come up with a wheelbase that the Eggmobile can plug into. Which is really leading me to wonder if they actually are going to start selling upgrade kits for this thing. I mean, why else would they do... Why else would they do this? This is the tank base. Now, they just need to make the racing base. Make a whole bunch of bases for us to plug this thing into. I mean, can you really sell them? It's been so long that now this isn't in stores anymore. So if you want to sell the upgrade bases, you're going to have to put the original kit back in stock as well. Oh, Tomy, why are you refusing to make as much money as you can? I mean, I have a tab on my computer here open to Toy Wiz, which says that they're selling the Blue Force 1 with for $25, and that's the Blue Force 1. It's already been in several episodes. And we're 42 episodes in, assuming it's the same length as Season 1, we're only 10 episodes away from the end, and we haven't seen this in stores yet. I hate to have to pay the extra shipping, but I might just order the thing from the website. Anyway, that's my divergence on what's going on with the toy line. So the race gets begun. Basically, there's no rules in the race except to more or less stay on the course, and Sorb comments that could be kind of dangerous, but whatever. So everybody has to start outside their car, run to them, and then start them up and drive off the start line. So of course Sonic gets an early lead. Swordy Eagle comments that ice is cold, water is wet, and his wife is taking the beach house. So Sonic of course gets the early lead, but then everybody else catches up. So the race gets underway, and surprisingly enough, Dave gets first blood. When he sees T.W. Barker in his pickup truck behind him, he shoots out a ketchup oil slick, which causes Barker to crash into a big tall stand that had all the rich people watching the race with their little handheld goggle things, their opera goggles. So, it's been an honor snarking with you. So yeah, T.W. Barker doesn't even get a line, and he just gets eliminated straight away. But hey, Dave the intern is the ruthless one that gets first blood. So the race continues, and we get to see some really cool stuff. Like Eggman's car, of course, is equipped with missiles. But everybody like us, like when Eggman shoots a tree over, Sonic's car is so fast that it's able to get under it before the tree collapses. Knuckles' monster truck can simply climb over it. Tails, he's built hydraulics into his car to allow it to jump, and Amy uses her hammer to smash the tree in half. It's actually pretty cool. And Dave, he actually had the chameleon from the Lightning Bolt Society hide a secret tunnel that he could use to take a shortcut. Really impressed by Dave's ruthlessness here. I guess it's really just about how everyone gets eliminated. After Dave comes out of his shortcut, Sonic drives him off the road, and it spills mustard everywhere, and then as everyone drives by, he gets mustard splashed all over him like 5 times. It's like, this isn't what I ordered! Oh, now I know how everyone I've ever served feels. Amy tries to attack Styx by using spikes that come out of her wheels. Unfortunately, it causes her wheels to get stuck in Styx's wheels, so their cars both spin out of the race. Oh, Amy, you were just never meant to be ruthless. And then, Knuckles, his car gets knocked upside down, but at first, like, haha, and they thought that wheels on the roof was a stupid idea. Unfortunately, he doesn't realize that this means that his controls are reversed, so when he tries to turn, he ends up turning off the road and crashing anyway. And then Tails, he tries to jump over another obstacle, but his hydraulics are too springy, so it causes it to lose balance, become over top heavy, and it rolls over. And Tails manages to escape by flying, to which Sora comments, does anybody else out there think that it's weird that the fox can fly, but the bird needs a jetpack? Yeah, Sora, I mean, you're actually one of the few bird characters that has obvious feathers on your wings. Are those purely vestigial? I mean, I don't know. I'd like to say the Babylon Rogues were able to fly in Sonic Riders, but now I'm not actually sure about that. So the race is basically down to just Sonic and Eggman. And Sonic's car has a surprising weakness. He's built it for speed, so that means that its handling is lower. So when the part of the course comes down to a winding road, Eggman is actually able to get ahead. And so Sonic spins out and crashes, and Eggman looks like he's poised to win this race fair and square. I mean, like, remember, Eggman's vehicle may have been equipped with weapons that he used to take out the other racers, but that was perfectly within the rules of this race, which has no rules aside from, staying on the track. So when Eggman gets back into the village, since he's the only functional car left, he just pulls over and decides to showboat a bit. So we're getting a little bit of a tortoise and the hare situation. Like just because you're convinced that you're gonna win, don't take it for granted. Oh, and I love. Jumping ahead a bit to the end. Speaking of tortoise and the hare, the tortoise guy, he's actually been slowly getting up to his little mail bicycle this whole time. And right before crossing the finish line, we see that he actually gets on the bike and is just about to pass the start line when the race ends. So yeah, the tortoise doesn't automatically win just because he's keeping a steady pace. You do need to keep speed. So Sonic is kind of pissed off that he's not going to win. And Amy points out that they were all so obsessed with knocking each other out of the race that that Eggman's gonna win now. Just a minute, recording! So basically Sonic runs around and salvages components from everybody else's cars so that they can use it to repair his. And he actually gets back into driving. And it's even camouflaged. So when he gets into the village, he tries to slowly drive by Eggman's car, and Eggman's like, huh, a moving bush. Wait a second! So he gets into his car, and they both speed, and now they're actually kind of neck and neck. So So Sonic's car actually isn't as fast as it used to be because it's weighed down by the components from everybody else's cars, but he has a secret weapon in that there's bike pedals. So he can use his natural speed to basically turbocharge his engine and make it go even faster. So it gives him the final burst of speed that he needs to win the race, and huzzah! So he's presented with the prize, and when he reads it, everybody's a winner because they tried. And it turns out that everyone in the race got a participation trophy. So Eggman's like, haha, I'm a winner too. And I'm like, really? Eggman won this race fair and square. He just decided to showboat at the end for plot contrivance. Soar the Eagle even calls it out that it's just storytelling. But, yeah, participation trophies. And that's how the episode ends. Wacky races! Sonic and Sega All-Stars transformation! Just racing! That's what this is. It's a perfectly serviceable thing, and I was about to call it out for bad continuity with having Knuckles' car being built now, despite the fact that we'd seen it in a couple episodes before, but hey, 8-month time skip, so fine. Everything worked out. This episode just works. So, yeah, I mean, it's hardly my favorite thing ever. Like last week's with the whole Sonic never existing and showing the parallel universe. Like that was all well and good, but you know, this is perfectly fine. It's a perfectly serviceable, good, entertaining episode. And it's kind of like in the style of wacky races. Like they would always have Dick Dastardly with his dog. It would Muttley. That would go like he'd always try and cheat to win the races, but something would always contrive that he'd lose. So yeah, that's basically the same thing here. Like Eggman could have legitimately won the race, but they found a way to contrive a way for him to lose. And then they took the victory away from Sonic by having participation trophies. That's just adorable. It really is. Alright, so this has been the Sonic Boom vlog for this week. It was episode 42. If you build it, they will race. We'll see you next week with episode 43.